Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Going In Deep, broadcast from Uranus, the official podcast of the Uranus Awards, and the perfect podcast for any of your personalities, whether it's a little boy, a creepy old woman, or a clean freak. My name's Zach, and join with me are my co-hosts, Mike, Xander Kozak, and returning from the dead, Max Joseph.
Oh my God!
He's so happy!
Well, I'm so happy to be back. I was in the middle of nowhere, New Hampshire, doing a little West Side Story musical and a little Inherit the Wind.
Really? Inherit the Wind?
Yeah, man.
Wow.
I just was stuck in the ensemble. It was great.
Can we just take a moment to appreciate that the four of us are all here?
This is the first time.
Yeah.
The Fantastic Four, copyright pending, are assembled.
Copyright
I've never
Sony
heard of
and
anything
Marvel
being
and all
called
the above.
Fantastic Four. Wow. This is gonna be weird.
Is that trademark yet? Can we be the Fantastic Four?
No
No one's ever heard of that.
Are any of us fantastic? Like, can we fantastic enough to be the Fantastic
I'm
Four?
Jewish. That counts, right?
Not even close.
Okay, well, anyway, if you're wondering what this podcast is, you're late to the party because we've already done, I think, 7 episodes. So go on our SoundCloud, our iTunes, listen to us. But we go visit our website, www.uranus-awards.com, and you can find out what this is. Xander, do you want to tell us a little news update that's very exciting that we use a lot here with the Uranus Awards?
Here at the podcast, we love to use the website Letterboxd, which is a movie database site that you can use personally to make lists, update your own collection, what you've seen, rate movies, review movies. And last year, at the very beginning of the year, the iPhone app for Letterboxd came out, and it's been a long time coming, but finally we have an Android app for Letterboxd as of today,
Hell yeah.
which is super helpful to Mike and I who have Android phones.
Have we ever explained to our audience that we use Letterboxd for rating? We rate on a 5-star scale.
We do the 5-star scale. Yeah, they know about that, but I don't think we've mentioned Letterboxd before. It's a really useful tool for all of us.
So for anyone that's eager to know and curious about the behind-the-scenes action, basically myself, Xander, and Max all rate stuff on Letterboxd and get an average score.
Mike?
I was getting to that, and then we yell at Mike that he needs to get on his Letterboxd.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
he's terrible.
Put
at
in
it.
his scores.
I've used Letterboxd ever since it came out, and I've got something like 200 movie reviews on there. If you want to follow any of us, we can put our Letterboxd names on the description for the podcast.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
You can read our work, take a look at our list, you can leave comments, and make your own little database of movies.
Join in on the Uranus Awards list.
Yeah, what's the other exciting news?
Also, a couple of weeks ago, Movie Pass, which is a sort of like a Netflix service for the movie theaters, has dropped its prices from $40 a month to
$49 a month.
$49 a month to $9.95 a month. And what that gets you is they send you a little Movie Pass credit card in the mail, and once a day at most major theaters, you may see a movie for just $9.99 a month. That's 30 or 31 movies you can see a month, one every day.
Every 24 hours.
Yeah.
Except
actually,
in
no,
February,
it's every
you can only
calendar
see
day.
28.
Did they change that?
It's every calendar day. So if you want, you could see a movie at 10 p.m. on Wednesday, and
I can see one at 6 a.m.
At 12:30 a.m. the next day. You can do that. Yeah.
It wasn't always like that.
It wasn't.
If we're bringing it up, let's just pause for a second and talk about this. So I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but AMC Theaters is
I saw this.
pretty
Yes.
The Times wrote an article about it.
Yes.
I don't have Movie Pass. I want to get it, but my big fear is that as soon as I get it,
And you cancel it.
Well, I mean, there's still a lot of movie theaters besides AMC. There's, Regal, Cinemark. There's the specialty theaters like the IFC and the Alamo Drafthouse. And
Which is how you see like all
does
the
Alamo
Oscar
Drafthouse
movies.
take it?
I believe so. I've never tried because I don't live close.
That is my
Game
favorite
changer.
place in the world.
Game changer.
It's my favorite place in the world.
You can also use it at one of my favorite theaters, Nighthawk in Brooklyn.
That sounds like a lot of work.
It's so much work.
Yeah,
But not if you live in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
But why don't we go ahead and get to the movie of the week?
What's
Yeah.
the movie of the week?
Mike, do you want to tell us a little bit about this movie?
Yes.
What movie are we reviewing? That was in English by me.
Split.
M. Night Shyamalan.
Like
He's back. I think he did a really good job, too, with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well, tell us about it before you give us your opinion, which I didn't ask for.
non-spoilery plot, I guess.
Yes.
So we got a couple of girls, and they're just tra-la-laing around, having a good old time at the birthday party, and then they get kidnapped by James McAvoy.
Oh my goodness.
James McAvoy?
McAvoy, my bad.
I'm going to start
You know,
calling him McAvoy.
I want you to say McAvoy, just you.
Can we
Okay.
just settle on James Mac and Cheese?
Mac and cheese.
Why would
There
you
we go.
sit on mac and cheese? That ruins it.
I just got so hungry.
So,
Oh my god, me too.
yeah, follows him from there, and we kind of find out about his character and the many characters he represents.
23 to be exact, until we see 24, but we'll get to that.
Ooh,
Oh, what?
It's that 24th
Or do we see
one.
24?
We don't. We see like maybe 10.
That's kind of true. I think we can get right to it.
Yes.
Should we talk about our non-spoiler section?
Yeah,
Yeah, of course.
Like general vibe of the movie. What did we think?
Good.
I loved this movie.
Generic.
Well, that's typical.
I was a big fan. I was a pretty big fan. Yeah.
Well, you're the black cat here. Why didn't you?
It was just another basic slasher kind of premise film of 2 hours of build up and about 20 minutes of stuff actually happening.
See, my thing, I love build up if it's good.
It was pretty good.
I don't
build-up.
really care much about the payload at the end. I love build up.
I like a lot of like rise and fall though, you know?
Well, sure.
To me that makes it a better movie.
This had its twists and turns. Though.
I also actually did enjoy the payoff.
Slightly.
I did too.
Yeah.
I mean, M. Night Shyamalan's back, and he did
That's
like
that's
a really
my thing. I
good
think
job.
He's back.
Like, I mean, I was a big fan of Unbreakable. I know it didn't do very well, but
Yeah,
I thought it was cool.
Although
It was a
Last
good concept.
Airbender was really just so good.
I want you to go in a hole.
Do we want to take a moment to talk about After Earth?
Why do we have to mention anything about After Earth? Ever?
I think we mentioned it. There we go.
It's a
Next
test.
game.
That was a
Next
movie?
story.
I don't like it.
So
like-
what mainly, I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind,
Yeah.
McAvoy or McAvoy or Mac and Cheese. What do we think of him, gentlemen?
He can
Oh.
get Best Actor.
He's my pick so far for the Uranus Awards best.
Really?
Actor. Yeah.
Him over Hugh Jackman.
It's close. I actually at this time don't know. Hugh Jackman was amazing. It's the best he's ever done as Wolverine in that.
Yeah.
But
I feel like it's hard to compare those two though because
it is.
Well, unfortunately, we have to.
But here's the thing: is
It's the
Hugh,
award show, man.
Hugh Jackman commits to one role and gets really into it. The
Yeah.
reason why we like McAvoy's performance in this is because he has a range.
I don't want to get too much
Totally.
into Logan because that's going to be an entire episode here. But like, we have also seen him do it over 10 times, and this is the final time, and it's the best time. So he had a lot going against him having done the role so many times.
Do you see what I'm saying about that comparison, though? I mean,
Yeah.
if we were watching two different movies about people with dissociative identity disorder and comparing, like, oh, this person has a better range than this person, that's a very different.
I agree with you.
comparison.
It's for me. It is
Well,
between McAvoy.
We'll get more into the competition of the best
game.
of the best actors and all the awards later in the year. But the point is, McAvoy
He's so good.
He nailed it. He nailed all of the personalities that take front and center. There are a lot, but there are 5 main ones that we get to see throughout the film, and he made each one of them completely distinct and different.
What really stood out to me about it was that he transitioned really well in between them too.
Yep. Keep going. Yeah.
Like it wasn't awkward with him. Like, it was strange to see him in a dress because there is a female personality in there, but it feels natural.
There was something interesting also about his head being shaved. You know, there's something sort of universal about it. Like
Because you see
I don't know
women
why.
like that too.
I believe that each of these characters, as they are, would be bald for some reason. It's a small thing, but it works to me.
It's very neutral.
Yes.
Gender neutral too.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think some of my favorite parts were when you got to see him transition between the two. Like, they didn't do a camera switch. They didn't like cut. It was just like you could see his facials just like changing and his body position, his eyebrows when he switched from
His
yeah, God, I just watched it again.
from Dennis to Patricia.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, because his eyebrows went down in the inside of it, down a little bit, that immediately transformed him. And I think it was genius.
And even subtle things like his speech pattern.
totally,
Yeah.
it was brilliant.
Great stuff. I was also really very big fan of this new up-and-coming talent who starred in The Witch last year. Her name's Anya Taylor-Joy, and I think she's terrific.
She's gonna be in New Mutants next year.
Is she?
She's playing Magic.
I didn't know that, but the director
Does it
of
really matter?
Dude, you don't like X-Men? You love X-Men.
I thought you said.
think-
oh wait, what did you say? Mutants?
New Mutants. The movie New Mutants?
I heard Inhumans.
Oh,
My bad.
We're not talking about that.
A joke was attempted there. It didn't work.
I
Swing and miss.
I know Anya Taylor-Joy is going to be starring very soon. The director of The Witch is remaking Nosferatu with Anya Taylor-Joy, and I think that's going to be cool.
That sounds very interesting.
Yeah, Nosferatu is one of those movies that I don't mind getting remade over and over again. I think every generation needs a Nosferatu.
I just have a really sour taste in my mouth from that movie because
Why?
I think it was on Netflix. I tried to watch it, and they totally changed the soundtrack. It was like 80s synth
Ooh,
pop
no.
Which
for like a silent
Did you watch
movie.
the original?
Well, it was the
Nosferatu?
original movie, but
Okay.
the soundtrack was completely
Because
different.
there's one or two more. The Werner Herzog one is one of my favorites.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But back to Split.
Yeah, back to Split. We also had Betty Buckley in this
Little
film,
unknown actress.
who had that ridiculous scene in The Happening, and
She was great.
she was really good. She played a psychologist to
Kevin. Yep.
well,
Oh, I flinch.
I think Barry's the one who sees her the most.
But it's
Barry, the
Kevin.
fashion designer. The main person that James McAvoy's character is, like the base person, is a kid named Kevin, who
Right.
who like he was born Kevin Wendell Crumb, and these personalities.
Say his name.
Whatever.
Spoiler.
It's just his name. I mean, it is a plot point, but still. And yeah, Betty Buckley's his psychologist, and she actually gets a pretty big part in the movie because the movie has a theme about dissociative disorder.
Dissociative identity.
Dissociative identity.
Says the
Thank you.
therapist.
Yes, thank you, Zach. I don't. That's one of the flaws with the movie is that you really have to suspend your disbelief because very little research has been done about this disorder, but I decided to just let that go because of how much I enjoyed it.
Research has been done on the disorder.
Not
Most
to-
people just think it's bullshit.
Well, yeah, they do, but not much research has done to it being a dangerous disorder.
No.
Yeah, so I decided to let that go because of how much I enjoyed the movie.
Right.
What didn't you like about the movie, if there was anything?
I don't know if I can talk about that without getting into spoilers. It's not that I hate it. This is just another movie that I thought was mediocre.
Well,
You
you
didn't
called it
hate it, but you
generic.
weren't.
It wasn't great.
You
It
weren't
wasn't
wowed.
terrible.
You don't think the idea was really good?
No, it's been done before. We've seen movies with dissociative identity disorder, and
But it hasn't been done as
Well,
well
the
as
idea
this
is
has.
ridiculous, but the execution's great.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that the twist that they were trying to go for was what separated this movie, and for me, it just really landed flat.
Towards the end.
Yeah.
Well, the twist we'll talk about in the spoilers because this is a less of a twisty movie than his other films, I would say.
Sure.
do you guys think? I mean, obviously, you guys like this, but between this and The Sixth Sense, has there been a good M. Night Shyamalan movie?
Unbreakable.
Yeah.
Unbreakable.
Unbreakable was
And
good.
Fucking hate that movie.
Yeah,
You're
Oh,
wrong,
no.
but that's okay.
Oh, no.
You're just
And
wrong.
I will say that Signs and The Village have a lot of very good things about them, but as a whole, they are both very meh.
I'll say it again.
I like
Last Airbender,
Village.
guys. Come on.
I like The Village a little bit more than I like Signs.
Yeah, The Village is decent.
I don't think they're great. They have great things about them, small pieces. But yeah, after Unbreakable, it just slowly went downhill, and then Lady in the Water happened, and it went from like, I don't know, let's say 65 to 5.
Here's the thing though is and I guess to be more specific on why I think it's generic is the whole time it works on building suspense for this this other personality that's coming out, which we'll get into spoilers. But I feel like people stay just to see what it is, not necessarily to see what.
See, I wasn't
happens.
even as interested in The Beast, as that's what it's called.
Yeah. Which
I really didn't
they
care
talk
as much
about
about that. I was like, oh, that's going to be a fun thing at the end. But like, that's not what I was concerned about the whole movie. I was like, I'm just concerned with James McAvoy being a genius and like just meeting all of his different personalities. I wish that we could have met more, but that wasn't like the payoff for me to see him as that.
See, like, the performance is great. I usually can't call a movie great just based on one great thing. What I was happy about was that I found myself very invested in this particular story, especially with Anya Taylor-Joy and her build up through it. You know, she watches him like a person should when they're studying something that they need to learn in order to escape it or conquer it ultimately. And I enjoyed that particular ride. I knew that the Beast was going to be some sort of payoff. They talked about it from very early on in the movie, but I was more interested in her story.
And we get to see a lot of her background.
Yeah.
We get to see like what made her be the way she is.
So
Yeah.
based on what we've seen so far this year,
Okay.
do you think this is the potential winner of the M. Night Shyamalan Twist Award?
As in surprise hit of the year, or
No, as in
or
like the
biggest
biggest
surprise?
plot twist and
Biggest
whatever.
plot twist, yeah.
But I mean, we can't really say that because the ending is the plot twist for me.
Well, yeah.
Literally
much
the last second.
The last scene of the movie.
well,
is
I
the
guess in a
plot
way
twist.
there's kind of two.
There's a few.
plot
There's like
twists.
a couple of them
I don't
throughout the
know.
movie, but I think the one that could possibly be nominated for it, we will get into spoilers. For me,
Have many movies this year had crazy plot twists?
So
The biggest one for me, try not to spoil anything, is probably Get Out for plot twist.
Oh, sure.
sure.
Yeah. Sure.
You didn't like that movie, didn't you?
Again, I thought it was mediocre.
But what
can't
about
stand you
what about the
sometimes.
twist though?
So
Let's save it.
Yeah,
for Get
well,
Out.
yeah. never
honestly,
mind.
you know, I'll be completely honest with the audience. I'm still trying to catch up on a couple movies. I think there's 3 movies that have come out this year that I need to go back and rewatch. But I just this past weekend watched The Discovery. I was telling Mike I loved it.
Oh.
It was a great
And
movie.
Honestly,
seen it yet.
I felt like that was the biggest twist. I was laying in bed watching it.
Really?
And when I saw the twist in that, I don't know when we're talking about that, but I won't say anything yet.
Good, because I haven't seen it, and I'm pretty excited about it.
When I saw the plot twist in Discovery, I literally
great cast.
sat up in bed and went, "Oh snap!"
Yeah, I'm surprised you liked it as much as you did.
I am too.
Because I wasn't. I guess I was. Maybe part of it was I wasn't expecting a plot twist. in it.
Sure, like you didn't know
So
anything about
because
the movie.
because that snuck up on me.
No, that
I
was
had
a
a
cool
greater
movie.
appreciation for this. Whereas I feel like now we've just kind of been conditioned to watch these M. Night Shyamalan films and sit there the whole time being like, well, where's the twist?
Well, but-
where's it at? What's the twist? What's the twist?
Well,
And the whole
between-
movie you're just guessing. What's the twist? What's the twist?
Well, from
there really
Lady in the
wasn't.
Water to After Earth, we went into them expecting like a train wreck. Like we wanted a train wreck almost. Like, you know?
But Sixth Sense till now, every M. Night Shyamalan film, maybe except for Avatar, has relied on a twist, and that's why we call our award the M. Night Shyamalan Award.
Yeah, he's known for twists.
Yeah,
Sure.
I mean, Split doesn't really need that like, whoa, like what's happening? Like we kind of through the build-up kind of figure out the twist, or I wouldn't even really call it a twist. We basically know what's
It
going
was
on
just
by
a
the end.
surprise, really. It wasn't a twist. It was just I wasn't really expecting that.
Yeah, it's not like
You know, a twist is when you see a movie, you watch the plot, you expect a certain thing to happen, and then the exact opposite happens.
yeah, exactly.
I feel you.
Should we get into spoilers?
Why not?
Yeah,
Any
I think so.
Okay. Spoiler
Spoiler
section.
section.
Whoa! Plop.
So
Yay.
the whole movie is building up.
to aliens. I'm sorry.
All right. So the whole movie is building up to the
I like how you've kind of stayed quiet the whole
Emergence.
time, and now that spoilers is going to be like, all right, now I can talk.
yeah.
Gloves
now,
are coming off.
now I can
Come at me, M. Night.
now I can complain. The whole movie.
Now
is
he
building up
complains.
to
This is the complaint
emergence of this extra personality, which they refer to as the Beast. And the whole time
Which
you're
is-
you're wondering, is he crazy? Is this actually a monster? There's all this talk of a monster.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess the plot twist was he really did become a monster.
I think
He became
kinda.
a monster and in the body of a human, about as much as you can be a monster.
But it was a monster that had all the superpowers of the animals that he lived with in the zoo or something weird.
Essentially, yeah, he's like a mega animal, like essentially a vixen.
Now,
DC's vixen.
don't get me wrong. The Beast was pretty cool, right? I mean, like even when he kills the psychologist, great.
Speaking for myself, I really enjoyed James
Worst.
McAvoy with no shirt on.
Worst weakness ever.
He didn't have
The
one.
only thing that's the thing that stops him is saying his name.
I mean that's not
I
even.
loved that. You didn't like that?
No.
Why
No.
don't we pull
Now,
it back?
let me explain to you why I don't like that. Because the other plot twist is this is actually a sequel to Unbreakable.
Yes, it is.
When was the last time you guys watched Unbreakable?
This morning.
Maybe like a month ago.
This morning.
Do you remember that his weakness is water?
He's not. He doesn't have a weakness to water. He just doesn't. He's afraid of it.
Right.
No, they literally say his weakness is water. That's why when he was a kid, he drowned in the pool.
Yeah, but they're not saying like he's
yeah.
gonna dip his hand in a cup of water and he's gonna start melting or
was
something.
distracted by the whole him forgetting that he had a drowning incident when he was a kid,
And that's why he thought he wasn't.
That's why I forgot about the weakness. To
It's
water.
more like a psychological weakness. It's more like being afraid of heights. Or
No,
something.
he literally is damageable with water, and that's why in the conclusion of the movie, it's dramatic when he falls out of the window into a pool and is covered in water, and that's why there's rain everywhere
Right.
in the final.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that everyone is excited for a third movie where a mentally unstable man who, if you say his name, will stop fighting you, has to
Eventually it
fight a
didn't.
guy
Eventually it-
that's
wait, but
weakness is a
eventually it
glass of
didn't.
water.
Yeah, it stopped
Eventually
working.
it stopped
end.
working though.
Yeah.
So obviously it's not gonna work
I
anymore.
mean, yeah, the M. Night Shyamalan is currently filming the movie Glass, which will star Bruce Willis, Samuel L. Jackson, and James McAvoy. all
Acting
coming
101.
together. What I don't think this is going to be is an action movie. This is going to be a psychological drama about superpowers, just like Unbreakable was.
Yeah, I totally get that.
Yeah, we're not gonna get like an epic battle between Bruce Willis.
I would love it
and
if
James McAvoy.
James McAvoy just picked up a glass of water, threw it in his face, and just decked him.
Yeah, but you're just like
You would
diminishing.
not like that.
That would be Signs.
You would hate that.
That would,
It was exactly like Signs. What does this guy have against water?
I mean, like every superhero's got to have some kind of weakness, right?
Sure, but not a lame one like water.
Water is okay. Wait, do you think water is a lame thing? Like I think water is so vast and like knowledgeable.
See,
I
like
love
that-
the idea of water.
That makes Bruce Willis sort of more on our level, that he has to actually be smart about his life decisions in order to not be destroyed.
So what? He can't drink a glass of water?
He can drink water. We all need
Right.
There's no
Yeah.
way he went through his whole life without drinking water, but like
Also, I think it's kind of you gotta the Wicked Witch of the West probably couldn't have a glass of water, but you kind of just get through that.
Oh, it's just,
like-
just burnt throat.
Right. I mean, like if you think about it, if she had a glass of water, she would melt.
I'm also, my very favorite show ever is an anime called One Piece, and many of the major characters have certain special abilities, and these particular characters all have a weakness to water. If they cannot swim.
But it's not.
But
It's
the
not a
interesting-
So
weakness.
I'm used to that plot thread.
It's not a weakness in the traditional sense, though.
Yeah,
That's all.
He literally just has to push him in a pool.
Yeah, and he will sink. He can't swim. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
He'll climb out or something.
You know, his superpower gives him an aversion to water. I don't know why that's a huge deal to you.
It's just
I
such a terrible movie.
Oh.
Wait, you don't?
now
You think?
now
Wait,
you are jumping to a completely different thing.
wait, you think it's a
He
terrible
does.
movie?
I think Unbreakable is a terrible, boring movie.
I think.
I think
Okay,
Split
no,
is
no.
mediocre.
He gave the.
Do you think Last Airbender's better?
Shut up.
Definitely
Zach,
not.
Zach
Okay.
gave really the only argument that we cannot fight. He was bored. That's it. We're done.
And there's no like argument. Like you feel how you feel. You're just wrong. It's okay
Yeah.
though.
Why don't
Just
we-
like Robin Williams.
Why don't we bring it back though? Like start from a little more towards the beginning, and then we can work our way.
Mike, keeping us grounded. Go ahead, Mike.
I mean, like, okay, something I'd like to talk about: the camera work. That was really well
Talk about
shot.
it. I
Yeah.
agree. Go ahead. Go ahead.
See-
Yeah.
Those tight shots. They're well. I mean, part of the main story is the girls. They're stuck in like a basement. It's like cramped. You can't really see the environment too much outside of the couple of rooms they're in.
Right.
And we don't even get a sense of like the scale of the place until the very end. But there's like those wide shots of the room. There's the tight shots like going down a tunnel. Like one of them's running. He's like James is like chasing them.
Yeah,
I like
it's
how you just skipped his last name.
James,
My good buddy
it's,
James.
It's pretty
Jimmy
clear
boy.
they
Mr. McAvoy.
they worked really hard on the camera work in this movie. Some very difficult shots.
And
were
he's
obtained.
always good at. He's so good at that.
Yeah, it's especially in Unbreakable. There's definitely some really masterful shots in there. Like
But not to Zach.
no,
definitely not.
Specifically
Wait, when was
in
the last time you watched it?
I watched it right before I watched Split.
Okay.
You
I
should
found
watch
out.
this
I
year.
found out that
this
Split
year.
was a sequel to Unbreakable, so I watched Unbreakable first, so I could get the references.
Oh yeah, because you're spoilery McSpoiler Jones.
Yeah, Zach likes to know everything that happens before a movie, and it's the most ridiculous thing.
There's this.
ever.
There's a
That
shot
is
in Unbreakable of Bruce Willis sitting in the background, and there's a body just slowly bleeding, and there's a sheet on top of the body that gets more soaked in blood. That particular shot is just so fucking incredible
Wait,
to me.
what movie?
Unbreakable.
Oh, I thought you were talking
Yeah.
about Split. I'm
No,
like,
no,
what
no,
did I
no.
miss?
No. So the peak of M. Night Shyamalan's ability to make camera work amazing was Unbreakable. I think it didn't surpass it in Split, and that's unfortunately why I did not give him the 3x3 award, because I thought if he were able to surpass his work in Unbreakable, then I would.
Sure.
But no, at this time. It was very good camera work.
What did we think of like the script itself? Because I really liked the story. I think it was fascinating.
The story was fantastic. It was ridiculous, but executed well. There were some lines that made me cringe a little bit, like that. Do you remember the M. Night Shyamalan cameo
Ugh,
with the chicken
yeah.
wings?
Oh, sure.
That whole chicken wings line was like, is he trying to be friggin' like Aaron Sorkin or like do some kind of His Girl Friday shit right here? This is ridiculous.
I mean, it distracted me from the fact that M. Night Shyamalan's right there, and then I was like, why the fuck are they talking about wings?
It's like
I don't-
Tarantino. He has to be in all of his movies.
It's same with John Favreau. I don't
Right.
mind director cameos. I think they're
No.
cool, but
Especially when
but
they're
they're
like,
so
good.
weird when they're done by Shyamalan.
Yeah.
He's just a weird looking dude in the best way
No,
possible.
but as much as I love Unbreakable, his cameo in Unbreakable was freaking ridiculous.
Right. Agreed.
If you remember it,
You'd have to jog my memory.
it's
He's
at a
the
baseball game,
stadium,
and
like,
Bruce
has
Willis
a gun or
Well,
something.
okay,
Don't worry, I saved you like
Oh.
10 minutes.
I was just gonna say
He's at a baseball game and has
he
a gun.
took him out of line and patted him down. Like he took the only Indian guy in the freaking movie out of line and patted him down.
Right.
That's such a weird movie moment.
Zach, what else did you not like about it besides you can't say his name or else everything is fucked?
I mean, again, just how generic it was.
But
Go-
why is
what
it
is the-
generic?
right.
You called it a slasher originally, but I don't get that at all.
No, it's
I
not.
mean,
What do you think? What?
what, I guess, psycho thriller?
A slasher involves a shit ton of bodies being dropped. You know,
Like
a
Friday the
13th,
yeah.
A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Right.
That's a slasher. Lots of blood everywhere all the time.
There's only there's only 4 other characters for the most part besides Kevin.
One character dies off screen as Anya Taylor-Joy's dad.
But for the most
yeah.
part, it just follows this cliche storyline of a lot of buildup, and then some action of some people dying, and then the conclusion and the possibility open to a sequel.
Did anybody see Shyamalan's last movie, The Visit?
With the grandparents
No.
being
Yeah.
creepy? Nope, not yet, because
Nah.
I'm scared.
So, I'm duty bound to see.
Duty.
Yes, it's Uranus. To see every Shyamalan film in theaters, whether it's terrible or not. And I was not expecting The Visit to be anywhere near decent, but I was surprised that it was. So I'm glad it was, because it got me excited for Split. It's weird. I think Shyamalan is better when he has more control, because he used the funds he made from After Earth, which apparently made money somehow, to make The Visit, which was pretty much all him.
$2.
He produced the whole thing and made it on a pretty small budget by himself.
Was Lady in the Water an original story?
Lady in the Water was his story, and nobody challenged him on it.
Y'all, After Earth made $245 mil.
What?
Holy shit.
It also had a $130 mil budget.
That's that Will Smith money.
There you go.
That sure is. That sure is.
I went for Jaden.
I don't like any of the Smiths.
What?
Now's not the time for jokes.
All 4 Smiths, I can't stand them. I wish they wouldn't do movies. Like, I don't think the girl does. The little girl.
You don't like Will Smith?
No, I don't.
You,
In fact,
okay.
no, he has a third
That's
child.
very
He has an
unfortunate.
oldest child who stays out of the limelight, and I appreciate
Did you
him
see
for that.
Academy Award winning Suicide Squad? Sorry, I had to plug it.
Get out.
Will Smith,
Get
the
out.
movie.
The movie.
Get out of this podcast.
I love Will Smith. He's actually one of my favorite actors.
For fun, can we?
He's playing the genie in Aladdin.
Why do we have to talk about that?
That's
Why-
a terrible casting choice.
Why are we still talking about depressing things?
I just hope that he starts rapping again. If he raps in Aladdin, I will be so
I will
happy.
leave the theater.
I'll be so happy. I'll be like,
That's a very
yes,
strange
Max is
casting
going to go home and cry.
That was very strange.
What's what's your guys' favorite Shyamalan, least favorite Shyamalan, and guilty pleasure Shyamalan?
Have I even seen enough M. Night Shyamalan movies?
I've seen them all. More than
catch 'em
once.
I haven't seen The Mist. I haven't seen that one where they're all stuck in the elevator.
The Mist is just he produced that. He didn't direct it. I'm talking strictly directing films. No Devil and no The Mist.
Haven't seen Lady in the Water.
Good. That's a bad movie.
I like The Village. That's
Village
the
is
other
pretty
one.
good.
I like The Village.
Is that your favorite Shyamalan? Mine is
no,
Unbreakable.
this-
No questions asked. Sixth Sense is a brilliant film, but Unbreakable is better to me.
I'm sorry for your poor
Yeah,
decisions.
Sixth Sense is good too. I didn't really like that as much, but I guess guilty pleasure M. Night Shyamalan would probably be The Village. That's one of his most famous
Oh
ones.
no! See, I get so much pleasure out of The Happening. I will watch that movie.
Really?
It's a terrible, terrible, terrible movie, but I
see,
love
so
it.
bad.
The Happening is probably my least favorite, but that's because I have a personal vendetta against Zoe Deschanel.
Why?
Oh no!
She is my arch nemesis.
What did she
What did
do
she do
to you?
She is the bane of my
Right,
existence.
yeah, but you haven't explained
No.
why.
What did she do? Did she steal your dog lunch money?
she is-
Did she say no to you when you
Besides
went
saying
to
she's the
prom?
bane of your existence, what did she do to offend you?
She what doesn't she do to offend me?
Right, that's still not an answer.
Most things she doesn't know you.
She is still my arch enemy. She knows.
You haven't given a solid reason.
You won't give me a moment to speak.
You're
So you
trumping.
keep saying the same shit.
You are Donald Trumping all over the place, brother.
so
What a good man.
The
JK.
reason why I hate Zoe Deschanel so much is because every movie she is in and every character she plays is the quirky, awkward, everyday girl, and that's all she fucking does.
But she's really good at it.
So what about in
Her
Hitchhiker's Guide
whole-
or Elf?
Her whole fame is just her walking around going, "Look how silly I am."
Okay,
Look
what
how
about Alan
quirky.
Rickman?
I'm just an everyday girl.
What about Alan Rickman?
What about
Snape?
Alan Rickman?
Well, he clearly
He
plays
kind of does like the same kind of like I'm a moody bitch. Although he's done some.
he's
sort
done a lot
he's
of different
done,
characters.
What's it called?
Dude, Love Actually.
But what about Nicolas Cage?
I mean,
I love Nicolas Cage. No shame.
Look,
I like Nicolas
National
Cage,
Treasure
too, but
1 and
even
2.
Nicolas Cage has more diversity than Zoe Deschanel.
But they do the same
and,
thing. They do the same thing over and over.
We all worked at Starbucks, except for Xander, to my knowledge.
I don't work at
Zoe Deschanel is single-handedly responsible for that terrible pink drink.
The unicorn drink?
I don't know what it's called. Remember the coconut milk with the strawberry?
I'm not interested in Starbucks.
what has this drink done to negatively
let's
affect your
not
life?
let's not talk about
Because that's her whole thing. She just posts stupid shit on Instagram.
Zach,
and goes,
I don't-
Look how quirky and funny
Wait,
I am.
I just
make
need to
my
throw
own
this
drinks
out.
at
Everyone shut up.
Starbucks."
Zach, shut up. Says the man who hates, quote, hates Robin Williams,
not-
end quote.
I did not quote say I hate Robin
You
Williams.
sure
yeah,
did.
We
Wait.
really got to stop bringing that up. It's gonna
I
lose
said
us
I
followers.
do not like Robin Williams.
No. Did he not say I hate?
Yeah, your exact words were hate.
Moving on.
I wasn't
so
there.
don't take what he says.
I wasn't there.
Anyway, Unbreakable is my favorite Shyamalan.
Mm-hmm.
Least favorite has to be The Last Airbender because I watched that whole series probably 7 times.
Yeah.
At least The Last Airbender doesn't have Zoe Deschanel in it.
That's not an argument for the movie.
I'm so mad at you right now.
That is an argument for the
You
movie.
are not doing a great job at this.
That is an argument for the movie.
I don't have a really guilty pleasure because
I
don't
will-
have. Yeah, it's not guilty. I
have
really
hosted
enjoy most of his movies.
I've hosted so many The Happening bad movie nights. It's so much fun.
I don't know how I feel about that.
It's so terrible and so much fun.
Ugh.
But yeah, Lady in the Water is a strictly boring film. It is terrible.
I think Signs might be a guilty pleasure movie for me because I saw it when I was a child and it scared the shit out of me.
That's my closest thing to guilty pleasure, but it's not. It's a great movie, I think.
The best thing about it's not great.
I haven't
at
seen it
all.
in years, but I
It's-
just remember being a little
wrong,
kid.
but that's okay.
It's okay.
When
It's
the aliens
fine.
first come, they have the recordings on the news, and there's just that one awkward scene of the alien just walking by real fast in the backyard of someone,
The
someone's
alien,
house or whatever.
the aliens being allergic
that
to
scared
water
the
is a
shit out
terrible
of
thing
me.
in that movie because like they're invading us. They chose to invade a planet
Hence
that
the
is
term
70%
guilty
poisonous.
pleasure.
Wait, guys, I was
It's kind of like War of the Worlds there, though.
Wait, guys, I just want to say something. I just looked. He's also a writer for Stuart Little. Moving
He did.
on.
He wrote Stuart Little. Yeah,
Moving on.
that's true.
I'm just happy about that.
And hang on, and Wide Awake.
I'm wide awake.
Has anyone seen that movie besides me?
No.
No.
Okay, it's also good.
Wait, have you? What's your favorite and least favorite and? all
Well, I
of the
said The
above?
Village.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite and least favorite? I don't know. I mean, I haven't even seen like
It's-
most of these.
Joaquin Phoenix is always a benefit to movies to me.
Actually,
He was supposed to be this.
In Split, yes,
was supposed to be the guy.
That's right, he was. He's turned down so many movies in the last few years. He turned down Doctor Strange.
That's because he's an asshole.
Why do you have to be this?
Do you know
way?
why he turned down Doctor Strange?
So he wouldn't have to do multi-picture deal.
Yeah.
And that's
So
fine.
unfortunate.
That's a huge commitment to make.
I think Benedict would have been better anyway.
He was good.
Benedict was their first choice.
No.
Yeah, he was.
There was like a.
I thought it was
Benedict
Joaquin
Cumberbatch
Phoenix.
was her first choice, but he was doing Hamlet on stage, so he turned down the role. So then
That's awesome.
they got into negotiations with Joaquin Phoenix, and the last minute Joaquin Phoenix backed out. So then my guess is they offered Benedict Cumberbatch more money, or they waited.
They probably
Sure.
waited.
I'm guessing his schedule opened up a bit.
We'll wait for you, babe.
Truly.
So
we have. Yeah, wait. Let's
this
get back to the
movie.
movie because I feel like all we talk about is M. Night Shyamalan. Let's
Well,
talk about
I
like
mean,
Split itself.
we are talking about one movie, so I thought I would bring a couple other things into the
No,
fold
totally,
here,
and I'm all
but,
about it. But like, what? Okay, what did we think of the Beast itself? Like character-wise,
He
physical-wise.
did a great job at embodying the physical attributes of this beast. It was
It's pretty much a
utterly
roided out
unsettling.
schizophrenic guy.
It was very
What?
unsettling.
It's pretty much a roided out schizophrenic guy.
Right.
Yeah,
but, it
but,
was
like,
sweet.
I didn't expect him to grow horns or claws or like a tail or anything. I thought that would have been a little too silly and over the top. But the way he moved and
I would have
breathed
appreciated
and,
that more.
and
Get
walked.
out.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I think you're kicked off
I
this
was
podcast.
expecting more of a transformation.
The way he moved and walked and breathed, it seemed like he felt that he had this giant, overbearing weight to him, these attributes of a monster.
I love how veiny he was.
Yeah.
I thought that was sweet.
Like years ago,
He just reminded me of some dude high on PCP.
Like years ago, I was lucky enough to work on
So
this.
mad at you right now.
You ever seen an episode of Cops where some dude's jacked up on PCP?
So every
it takes
episode?
like 4 tasers to take him down because he's just that ridiculously high.
Yeah, it's my
I can't
casual
imagine
Sunday
that's
night.
only happened once on Cops.
That's your regular Sunday night, is that what you said?
Yeah.
And let me say, years ago, I was lucky enough to work on a stage version of Animal Farm, which was done in a minimalist fashion, where the actors had to use their bodies to portray the animals. There wasn't much costuming to the piece, and I was reminded of that with Split, and I was blown away by that with the embodiment of the beast. So that's why I liked it.
How do you feel about the fact that he literally couldn't die from a shotgun or a gun?
Exactly.
Well, they
I don't want your opinion anymore.
Oh my God.
They brought up similar things. There was a point when Dennis was talking to the psychologist, and he was talking about a patient with dissociative identity disorder who was blind and developed sight in 3 of her other personalities.
Right.
So I wasn't surprised that he had attributes that the other personalities didn't, including a
like
a
Spider-Man
seeming
abilities to
invulner-
scale
and
a flat
invulnerability.
wall.
Yeah.
Right.
Like-
well, they wasn't the wall wasn't flat. It was very like rigid, and I think he was like grabbing onto the bumps. Right.
It was like
it seemed
millimeter
it's-
bumps.
That's the millimeter.
He was embodying a bunch of different animals. I am assuming he had some sort of amphibian or spider attribute to him in that particular scene.
Well, one of the personalities had to take insulin, as we find out in the video
one of them
diary.
was diabetes.
Yeah.
So I had diabetes. I apologize.
I'm really. Speaking of that video diary, I wish we would have seen each of them, like a 2-second clip of each character. And I am sad that we only saw like what?
Oh, yeah.
8 maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there- there's supposed to be
Maybe
24, and
Right.
we only saw like half of them, not even half.
Yeah, like
really
a
sad.
little
and
video
that was
montage
like
would've been
what pushed it, right? Wasn't the tagline on all the promotional material something like, "What if you had 23 personalities?"
Yes.
Like, really, you could have cut those other 15 personalities out, and
Sure,
it
made
would have
it-
made no difference to the movie.
made it 10
Right.
personalities, and that would have been fine. I
Yeah,
think.
cut
But
it
I just
down.
wish that
I
they
agree.
could have shown every single one somehow.
If they were going to say there were 23, yeah, they should
Show
have
23.
They should have had
Agreed.
23.
That would-
So,
that
yeah,
was my
I'll
one
agree with that.
complaint with the movie.
Because that's like the same thing as like he has 100 personalities, but you'll never see 99 of them. Like
It's too
or
much content.
92 of
No,
them.
I agree.
You
that
wouldn't
was,
have
that was
enough
like my
time.
biggest complaint. I was like, well, what about all the other ones that I haven't seen? I want to see James McAvoy be all of these things.
You know what? I just thought of something. There is a little bit of a twist that we didn't discuss. So Dennis kidnapped these 2 girls, and then Casey, played by Anya Taylor-Joy, who was the third by accident.
Right.
And these 2 girls were virgins, and that's why the beast wanted to eat them. He was sacrificing virgins to the beast. And the reason Casey was not killed by the beast was because in the end her shirt was ripped, and she it was shown that she had scars,
Being
and
raped.
there was flashback scenes from her uncle
Throughout the whole movie.
Throughout the whole
Yeah.
movie,
I think
we
it's
discover
implied
her.
the scars were self-mutilation.
I think part of it that
It's possible,
yeah.
but like,
that too,
Yeah.
though. I agree.
so how do we feel about this twist of
He didn't kill her because she
honestly-
her tragedy being the thing that
So
saves her?
from a psychological background, the few psychologists that do believe in dissociative identity disorder, it's pretty much agreed on that basically what the brain does is creates an alternate personality to deal with some sort of trauma, especially sexual abuse. That's the most common. There's a old movie, I think in like the 30s or something, that talks about that, and that was the premise. So honestly, I kind of really like that they threw that in. Like, that's one thing I will give M. Night Shyamalan for, is it actually seems like he did do some research on this disorder.
Right.
Like, multiple personality disorder is not a thing anymore. It's called dissociative identity disorder now, and they make it a point of saying that, you know?
Right.
So I personally really appreciate that backstory, and I appreciate him kind of sympathizing, because now we can kind of assume that, you know, when Kevin was a young kid, he was probably sexually abused.
Right.
So he had a lot of empathy for the girl.
For some reason, I thought you weren't going to like that.
That was the best part of the whole movie.
See, I thought you were going to be like, that's what did it? That's why he didn't kill her?
No.
I also don't know if...
But I guess that makes sense why you did appreciate that.
I don't know if you caught this. It was really subtle, and it wasn't outright said. It was just sort of implied that Mr. Glass from Unbreakable killed Kevin's father.
What?
Wait, I must have missed that.
It's a super subtle moment somewhere in the middle of the film, or like the middle back of the film there. But yeah, it's very subtly implied that Kevin's father was actually killed in the in one of the terrorist attacks.
You know,
by
M.
Mr.
Night
Glass.
Shyamalan
Oh,
confirmed that so that scene in Unbreakable where there's the mom and she's like yelling at the little kid, that little kid is Kevin
Really?
at the baseball stadium.
Interesting.
So even back then they were kind of showing abuse of
that.
Kevin.
Cool.
That's
Yes,
interesting.
I remember that. I watched Unbreakable and Split this morning.
You know, after everything, I just feel incredibly bad for Casey. Like, we get to see all this, like, time that she spent as a kid, like, leading up to the uncle, obviously, like, molesting her and, like, probably raping her.
Yeah.
But then
And,
she...
the uncle was played
What
by
do you
the
mean probably?
Probably, but,
No,
like...
They did everything but show it.
She gets, like, kidnapped. She has to face all this abuse by Kevin
she
and all his
clearly doesn't fit
personalities.
in at school.
Yeah, and now, at the end of the movie, she's in a cop car, and one of the police are just like, oh, hey, your uncle's here to pick you up. Like, what kind of shit does she have to deal with, leading after that?
I
That's
also love
horrible.
Brilliant.
that the uncle
And I
was
think they'll
played,
talk about that in Glass.
Maybe, yeah. It's
I
so
love that the
dark.
uncle was played by Piscatella from Orange is the New Black, if anybody else
Right?
watches. Yeah. He's a former football player who turned actor, and I love him. He's great.
Did you know that I was too?
You are so tiny.
Well, you can get through small holes.
I'm
This
so
this
happy
movie
now.
also made a lot of money.
Yeah.
It did
It
well.
started with $9 million as a budget. It made $138 million.
Oh, wow, that's
Yep.
really good.
That's a
That's-
good profit,
That's
y'all.
excellent.
I'm really
That is
happy
a
that they're
lot of
doing
money.
Glass
That is
now.
excellent. So,
You know what I'm actually curious about?
what's that
Sybil. That was the movie.
that you were talking about?
Yeah, with
Oh.
dissociative identity disorder.
I have not seen that.
It has Jessica Lange as a psychiatrist.
I am madly in love with that woman.
All right, I'm sold.
Yeah, anything that she's
Yeah.
in, I'm pretty down for. Wait,
Like, yeah.
Airbender the budget was 150 mil. It made 317.
Ouch.
Well, that's probably foreign.
Yeah, I was so sad about that.
Does it
They're gonna make another one apparently.
Oh.
Why?
They're supposed to make another Airbender.
Why would anyone?
Why?
We're not getting another Power Rangers, but we're getting another Airbender.
Right.
Good God.
Please stop.
Yeah.
So, Split, like, anything you guys would have changed about the movie? Maybe, like, a plot twist here or there?
Besides the name changing everything.
Um,
When he said Kevin, that's the one part you didn't like.
Yeah. Why couldn't the weakness literally be as simple as him seeing her scars
And just
snap?
cut that whole thing and just go on.
Yeah, just
you
cut the
make
whole
it like
name thing.
like a 10-minute shorter movie.
If you say the magic word, he'll stop killing people. What?
Sure, I feel you.
It's
I feel
not
you.
hypnosis.
I don't know.
I feel you.
I didn't have a problem with it. That's what I'll say about
If
it.
you snap your fingers 3 times, he'll stop going on a murder rampage.
But the thing is, like, I really liked it because it had like a nice moment, and then he was like, "Nope, I'm over it," and now like we'll get to see that it doesn't work.
I think I would have made a couple of things a little more clear, like how well these personalities can communicate with each other and control who gets to be in Kevin's body at a certain point
The light.
in time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
be in the light.
So
I would have made that a little
Another
clearer.
fun fact about dissociative identity disorder:
Yeah.
personalities can't talk to each other.
Interesting.
entirely impossible.
But in this movie, they do.
They do.
Right. The
Yeah.
way people usually figure out that they quote unquote have it, if they have it, is literally things like they wake up in places that they don't remember going to. They find objects in their house, like clothing that they don't remember buying. People come up to them and say, "Hey, Kevin, how are you? Like, I haven't seen you in a while." And they go, "My name's not Kevin. I've never met you before."
Sure.
Yeah,
Things like
also,
that.
here's-
Interesting, but I think it was very smart to
here's-
do it like that.
Here's another thing about
Like they
that.
did.
All of these personalities are totally okay with the kidnapping and the sacrificing to the beast. Like, not one of these personalities attempts to fight that, which
Well, they
do we
some of
think
them were
about that?
emailing the psychologist.
Barry was.
It was all
to-
Barry, right?
Something like that.
I think was Barry trying to like fight this whole thing, or was he not?
Yes.
That part was a little
No,
unclear
wasn't
to
he
me.
like buried and locked away?
Yeah, well,
I
it was
know
Dennis
we know Dennis
pretending
was
to-
trying to pretend to be Barry.
Yeah.
Barry.
Right.
Yeah, I thought they were like
Which she saw right
weren't
through.
letting him out or
Which-
something.
Which again, we shouldn't really be able to see because Dennis shouldn't know much about Barry or how to be him or be able to handle things that aren't clean because he's
I
a
think
super
the
clean freak.
only exception to that I would buy would be the video diaries. But then again, like 23 personalities,
Sure.
that means every single one of those personalities would have to figure out that they have dissociative identity disorder.
I think at this point in his story, they do know that.
Yeah, and
what I would
he's
think.
an adult. He's like in his 30s. I feel like they would all know by this point.
But not Hedwig.
Hedwig, yeah. How long has he been a 9-year-old boy named Hedwig? That's the like Hedwig has never grown up, has he?
And why does
did
he
he-
have
or did he
control?
pop up later?
Why does he have so much control over who's like leading him?
That's why I think-
Childlike innocence.
So I'm guessing
dat.
in the movie Glass, we're not going to find out. We're not going to explore the disorder as much because that was most of Split. I think it's mostly just going to be about the story.
I think it's mostly going to be 2 hours of buildup of these two fighting for a really shitty 10-minute fight and some sort of crappy plot twist at the end. I hope
don't know.
I hope the plot twist
don't
of
know.
Glass is that it's in the same universe as The Lady in the Water.
Well,
or something.
don't boil it down
Some
to like.
lame
No.
shit. It's all connected.
Almost through the
You
table.
suggest so many terrible things.
M. Night Shyamalan shared cinematic universe.
Oh my
At
God.
this point in time, I'm excited for Glass.
I am pumped for that movie.
If all of his movies are connected, how pissed would you be?
That'd be sweet.
Not at all.
not
Really?
That'd be sweet.
not happening.
Wait,
in
are there
Airbender and
connections
After
between
Earth.
Lady in the Water and The Village?
No.
Well, that'd be sweet. I don't know
Not
how
as-
it would happen.
I
but
think
would
there's
not
like
be mad.
loose
I
connections.
won't
between
watch
the two.
Lady in the Water ever again. I've seen it twice now, and that's too many times.
So Bruce Willis is both a superhero and dead.
Yes.
great.
Accurate. He's a ghost superhero.
Do we want to move on to nominations? Do we
Oh
have
wait,
anything else to say?
one thing. Oh, I want to say the one thing I would
Yeah.
change. I wish again. I think I said it earlier. The one thing I would want to change is I wish we could have seen every single personality. Like you said.
Yeah,
You
did
literally
mention that.
campaigned it as 23 personalities. What's gonna happen? Okay, let me see all of them at least for 2 seconds in that video montage when he was online or on the diary.
Yep.
Mike, if you could change one thing.
I would change how the beast just like kills people for seemingly no reason. I didn't really pick
He's
up on
feeding.
that.
He's feeding them.
He's feeding, but like, why
Why?
are they sacrificing? Why?
What does it go to?
Like, why is he even evil in
yeah,
the first
the whole
place?
sacrificing of the virgins
It's
thing is
just
a
an
little
animal.
overdone. Pop, yeah.
But I feel you on that actually. It's like, well, wait, but
could have done the beast
why?
better.
Yeah, they're talking about making sacrifices and how they have to be pure.
Yep,
But
they have to be virgins, so
Yeah, I don't know.
it's an overdone plot point, and they could have done better with that
Yeah,
for sure.
I agree.
Would you recommend this movie?
Yes.
Hell yes, Zach.
Compared to the
Give it a
four,
watch? Yeah, why not?
there were 4 perfectly bad Shyamalan movies in a row, like 4 remarkable bad
You
films.
gotta understand.
And then
I didn't hate
these
it.
two.
I just didn't love it.
That's
That's
fair.
fine.
That's totally fine.
So compared to the 4 remarkable bad M. Night Shyamalan films, this is a fucking miracle.
This is my second favorite he's ever done. Behind Unbreakable.
I can feel
Sixth
that.
Sense is my second favorite, but this is easily his third. I'll say.
This
What is your favorite? I think you said it.
It's-
Remind me.
The Village, right?
probably like The Village the most. Yeah, I mean, none of them are really super great.
Do you like M. Night Shyamalan?
Not especially.
I mean,
I mean,
guess that's
I
an
guess
interesting-
the Sixth Sense for its time. I mean, that was a great film.
his work
You know,
as a
that-
director.
That's really what put him on the radar.
Right.
His direction ability in Sixth Sense and Unbreakable does not surprise me at all that he gets work still.
Yeah.
He has done some very masterful things in those movies with camera, with story structure, with characters. You know, he has had some very bad hiccups in his career, but I am glad he's still working and still giving us movies.
Like
because when he's great, he's really great.
Just to add on, like being a good director means that the actors are going to do a good job too.
Sure.
And you know, some of his movies are not well acted, or they're not done
Like
all
The
that well.
Happening.
Like The Happening.
Oh
But
my
then there's
God.
other ones like Bruce Willis in both Unbreakable and The Sixth Sense. James McAvoy and damn it, I keep doing that.
I told you
in
to do
Split
it.
here.
I told you to do it.
But that's also
I'm happy.
like that's his.
Doesn't that just come down to the actor's ability, though?
But also the
Yeah,
director
but
also
has a lot.
direction.
Yeah.
Like actors can be great on their own, but a good director is very key to making that performance really good.
Exactly.
Actors cannot always be trusted to be on their own. It's not a great idea, even if they are amazing.
I feel you.
Ratings?
4 stars for me.
I give it 4.5.
4.
3.
That's a weird average there.
It's pretty good.
You'll find out
Goes
our
to-
average rating because I
Yeah.
can't do math in my head.
Let's do nominations and start with our dear Mike.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
I like Mike.
Best Picture. I'm gonna put it up there.
Good
just
man.
I'm not saying it will. I'm just saying it deserves it because it was so good.
Okay.
Actor in a leading role. I mean, I think we've said enough about that.
Right.
Yes.
Like that's just a given. Supporting actress. That would be the
Betty
one-
Buckley?
Anya.
Yeah, well, the one that played the psychologist,
Yeah,
Betty.
Betty Buckley.
Betty Buckley.
Yeah. She was pretty cool. I liked that a lot. I liked her character. Camera work, like I mentioned before. There was no blah blah. No. Best Easter egg, just because it was so terrible in a way too.
The Bruce Willis cameo at the end.
I was gonna say the M Night Shyamalan one.
Oh.
but because
That's
it was
also
bad,
true.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't outright say that. Bruce Willis makes a cameo at the end.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
very-
think we outright said that, but
You're
yes.
right. You're
He does
right.
make a cameo at the end of this movie as his character from Unbreakable. That's how we know.
Can we even give this a big surprise nomination? It wasn't a big surprise.
Like
Are you? Well, these are yours. So what do you think?
the M Night Shyamalan award is like the surprise twist. Then there's also surprise hit of the year. Which one are you giving it?
Oh, the M Night Shyamalan award.
Okay.
Surprise twist, I guess. I might as well. It's one of his own movies.
And it's gonna lose that award.
Ooh, the poster. I thought that was cool.
Right.
That was a good poster.
Yes.
Like James's face, and it's like some shadows or whatever. That was cool.
And no, it's a cracked glass, and there's cracks going all over.
Glass.
What? Yeah,
God.
it's split. Oh.
All right, Max. Passing the potato to you.
Potato.
Hot potato.
Oh well, you could have said hot.
It's hot.
I'm tired. I went to bed at
Guys,
like
I
5.
love potatoes.
I want a yam.
Yams are so good.
Anyway, best pick, best director. I think he crushed it. Actor in the leading role for James Mac and Cheese. I have Anya for best actress, best supporting actress. I have Miss Betty Buckley. I love the script. Best camera work. I really love this movie, guys.
That's fine.
I'm gonna give it coolest costumes, makeup, and hairstyling because of the way they did the Beast, and I think just in general the vibe of the movie, and like the general costumes that they did for Kevin and all of his characters. I think those were like perfect. They weren't too much like when he was the woman. It was like it wasn't like so like he didn't put a wig on. It was like it was perfect the way they did it. I feel like it was terrifying. The most complex villain, if he could be called a villain, I think.
Actually,
Kevin-
that's a good one. I really
right.
like
I think that is like he is the epitome of a complex person.
That's a good point.
I agree with that.
Surprise hit of the year. I wasn't expecting this movie to be amazing, in my opinion. It was Shyamalan, so it had a lot of buzz to it, but I didn't have it as like, oh, this was great. Biggest surprise, aka the M. Night Shyamalan Award, the ending with Bruce Willis. I loved the trailer. I thought they did a good job, again, advertising those 23 personalities. I'm like, that's cool. I can't wait to see that. And then the most memorable moment was the ending when she revealed these scars on herself. I thought that was awesome.
Feels award.
There was a lot of feels.
Yeah, I'm gonna add that on too because that was pretty feely.
And what was the other surprise that you had? The
M Night Shyamalan.
yeah, the Easter egg.
That
Easter egg
cameo.
for Shyamalan. which is a given in his movies, but was he in Last Airbender? I love bringing up Last Airbender.
Why?
Probably.
You're
He was
following-
secretly
You're
Aang.
following Zach off this podcast. I'm giving it a Best Picture.
Yep.
I thought about it, and I was back and forth on Best Picture a lot, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give it to him. It was a really, really well done movie, a very long overdue thing for Shyamalan. Best Actor and Actress, James McAvoy and Anya Taylor-Joy. I think she is a remarkable young talent. I'm really excited to see her in Nosferatu, and I'm excited to see what she's going to be doing in the next few years. Most Epic Standoff. Casey versus the Beast. I loved how that entire thing was shot. I loved the tension behind it, and I loved the reveal at the end there. I thought that was really cool. Most Complex Villain. Not much more to say on that. I thought the whole thing was it was ridiculous, but it was well executed, and I appreciate a lot of it. Best Movie Poster, the whole cracked glass.
I meant to
over
say
James
that. Yes,
McAvoy.
yes.
And Surprise Hit of the Year. And that's it.
I
That's
think
it for me.
Best Actor and Best Supporting Actress are kind of a given at this point.
Supporting Actress for Betty Buckley.
No, for Anya Taylor-Joy.
Oh, because I gave her leading actress.
That's what I did too.
You could give it to more than one, though.
She's the leading, though. Betty Buckley's clearly a supporting
I
character.
think, right?
Yeah.
All right. So Best Leading Actress, Best Leading Actor. I think you're right. Most Complex Villain. Absolutely. Maybe Saddest Death. I was pretty sad when Betty Buckley died.
All right.
Crushes her.
I'm always sad when she dies.
To me, I'm going to say Best Easter Egg because of the Bruce Willis thing, just because I think most people in general did not expect that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And to me, that's more of an Easter egg than a plot twist, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
I feel that.
I guess the real plot twist would be her
scars.
her rape scars being the thing that saves her.
That's fair.
Alright, so.
That's it.
Is that it?
That for you?
So where can everyone find us?
Oh. Okay. Oh, by the way, if you yourself would like to watch Split and you have not, it will be very soon available on HBO Go and HBO Now.
Ooh, very cool.
Interesting.
But
Where can they find us? Not where can they find Split?
I needed to mention that before we moved on to the end bit here.
Find it your damn self and be an adult.
Why are you trying to end things so soon?
You were so,
I love these people.
You're so angry. Do you have sand in your vagina?
I sure do. Would you like to lick it?
I am leaving.
Oh, God. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at Uranus Awards.
Yeah,
Our website,
.com.
Uranus-awards.com.
You can support us on Patreon and Indiegogo. Please help us.
We have I think 5 days left on our Indiegogo,
Yeah.
and
we are close to the goal.
yes, so help us out, and you'll get a special shout out, maybe a poster.
Maybe
Yeah, you have
Xander
like a
will lick
million
your vagina.
posters.
Okay, let's maybe not.
Let's not speak for Xander.
What kind
Although he's
of
right.
what kind of posters can they win? Got some good
We
stuff.
got Spider-Man
Spider-Man.
Homecoming, Resident Evil, Flatliners, which I'm really excited about, even though it's a remake. I'm still excited about it. What else do I have? We are supposedly
Pirates?
going to get Justice League. We're going to get possibly Thor. I'm really hoping on Thor and more. So stay tuned for that. And again, maybe I'll start this. If you support us on Patreon, every certain amount of time, one person will win. Maybe once a month, someone will win. No matter what you donate.
We can do that.
We got something for you guys.
Maybe
We'll
I'm jumping
figure
the
it
gun
out.
a little bit, but just a side note. So coming up first weekend of October, Mike and I will be at New York Comic-Con. And
Oh, yeah.
hopefully, fingers crossed, don't want to get your hopes up, we'll have some merch that we'll be handing out. So if you see some, if you're in New York and you see some Uranus Awards merch going around, look for us, say hi to us, take pictures with us for the social media.
Yeah.
We'll leave some breadcrumbs for you.
That'd be really
so that
cool.
you can find us.
Are you going? Are you a Comic-Con person?
If I can get a press pass, I didn't buy tickets.
Fair.
We'll sneak you in. Back door.
I mean, our podcast makes us eligible, I think. So
Wow.
I'm gonna
yeah.
try applying.
That's fair.
This is good stuff.
Sweet.
It may be 2018.
I think we're getting close to the too late today, but I'm gonna see what's up anyway.
Road to Comic-Con 2018.
There we go.
Hashtag.
Yeah, and please join us next week where we will be talking about It. Stephen King's It.
Wait,
So
what?
excited.
Talking about what?
Talking about It.
What's that?
It is a movie.
Mike, that was so
But
funny
what
of
is
you.
it?
It is a movie about a clown thing and a bunch of children. One of them may be from Stranger Things or something. I don't know.
Would it be a spoiler if we said what the clown is? Do people already know? I mean, this
No,
book's been out for like 30 years.
No,
All right. I'll
it's
tell
a
you.
clown.
It's Bill Skarsgård.
All right. We'll talk about it next week.
Next week, Stephen King's It.
I
Which Max is going to go see with me, Xander.
after you have seen it, because I don't do scary movies.
I'm going to
so he's
tap you on the shoulder when you have to close your eyes.
No, I'm not gonna close my eyes. I'll just
I'll close your
I'll
eyes.
just hold my eyes.
Just lean in gently, be like, baby.
Oh,
No,
I'll
I'm
hold
not
your
leaning.
eyes like this.
I'm gonna lean the shit back and do like the whole like eyes covering, but
I
like
can-
kind of watching.
I can
eyes
cuddle
half
you if you
closed.
want. I'm very squishy.
I don't want you to touch me. I just want you to touch me when it's happening. That sounds really weird.
And he touched me.
Nope, dead. Is that it, guys?
That's the
That's
end of
it.
this ridiculous day. Thank you for joining us on this first podcast with all 4 of our Uranus Awards members.
Yeah,
This is a
welcome
very
back,
exciting
everybody.
day.
We're all here.
Mike, do you
Yeah.
want to give us a little sign off?
Yeah. Love
Something
you
for the
guys.
Analets.
No!
Thanks for listening, guys. Love you so much. Appreciate it. And this is Going In Deep, Going Dark.